Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you are Wendy Williams, things are getting crazy. The judge is out here in public threatening you, and your niece took you out for a dinner after they told Wendy, oh my God, you're free to go wherever you want. Calm down. And all of a sudden, they got the police called on them, y'all. Let's get into this because honestly, this is too much, all right? It's getting crazy. Wendy Williams' assisted living facility filed a police report claiming her niece broke the law. They're trying to get her niece locked up for taking her to an Italian restaurant. Listen, TMZ is reporting so much for Wendy Williams being able to come and go as she pleases and spend time with her family because her care facility, i.e., her prison, where she's being housed, has filed a police report claiming that her niece broke the law and needs to be locked up. I'll tell you one thing. We're going to get into the report, but I will say this. I do believe this was a really smart and intentional play to prove that the guardian and the guardian's lawyers are liars. If you guys don't know, I believe that the guardian, the judge, and everybody else is running one of the biggest scams we have ever seen. Okay. Wendy Williams says she is being confined to the fifth floor. The guardian's like, what are you talking about? Wendy can come and go as she pleases. Oh my God. Wendy was like, what are you talking about? You are holding me hostage. What? You can do what you want. Wendy, we're good friends. Wendy said, get away from me. They're like, Wendy, we're good friends. Wendy said, all right, well, I'm going to dinner with my niece. She left to go to dinner at an Italian restaurant. This is after what do you call it? Scoring 10 out of 10 out of 2 mental assessments. And they called the police. Let's get into this. I do believe, again, that the judge, the guardianship, and the law firm are all in on this. And I do believe that this elder abuse investigation and NYD probe is going to be the end of that facility. TMZ is reporting so much for Wendy Williams being able to come and go as she pleases and spend time with her family because the facility where she's being housed has filed a police report claiming that her niece broke the law by taking her to dinner. What is the law on the guardianship? We'll talk about that in a second. Sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ Wendy's niece, Alex Fine, or Finney, accompanied Wendy on Wednesday from the hospital where Wendy Williams has been staying for a psychological evaluation back to the coterie where Wendy has been living for the past 8 months. After spending time with Wendy at the coterie, Alex took her famous aunt to an Italian restaurant for dinner. Where do you think they went to? Bill Boys? Famous Italian? Where do you think they went to? Anyway, according to sources connected to Wendy and her guardian, the coterie called NYPD and filed a police report claiming Alex evaded staff by taking Wendy Williams out the building. What are they talking about? TMZ said, here's the deal. First of all, Wendy cannot leave the fifth floor memory unit without an attendant pushing the elevator button. Doesn't that mean that she's being held hostage? Because it doesn't say the attendant has to push the elevator button. It says they must push the elevator button. First question. Secondly, we're told an attendant actually accompanied Wendy and Alex down to the lobby and opened the door of their Uber for them to get in. Okay, so now I'm really confused. So they let Alex leave with Wendy, but now they're trying to say that Alex didn't have permission to leave with Wendy. This is just like they let Wendy go have drinks. Then they said Wendy's not allowed to drink. Anyway, they said it's a shocking turn of events given a letter TMZ received last night from the lawyer representing Wendy's guardian. I cannot say enough that Wendy is paying that guardian's lawyer. The letter said Wendy was free to come and go from the facility as she pleases, and no restrictions were placed on family visits. Yet, here we are. At the time of this post, Wendy and Alex are finishing their meal and will return to coterie. They also have an update. They said Wendy and her niece Alex just got back from dinner and talked with photographers. before going inside the coterie, with Wendy saying the police report drama was unbelievable. Wendy and Alex say it's weird the coterie took issue with them going out to dinner when her guardian claims there are no restrictions on her movements and family visitors. Wendy Williams says the guardian is lying, and she says tonight's events are proof she's being treated poorly. Listen, let me tell you something. Of course, Wendy is being treated poorly. Of course she is. But you know what? Think about this. Why is Wendy's movement so restricted? Why don't they want other medical people involved? What are they hiding? Now, just to give you an update, the Guardian's lawyer says the media is wrong and Wendy does have freedom and great care and a competent guardian. Really? The people being accused of illegally, basically kidnapping, holding Wendy hostage are now saying that she's a great person? Yeah, because y'all all in on the same scam. Now, again, the letter TMZ received was from Wendy Williams' guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, and the attorney claims some of the media coverage of the guardianship and their client is untrue, inaccurate, incomplete, and misleading. I'm confused. If Wendy doesn't like her guardian, why do you have to keep that guardian? And again, I get it. It's complicated. Well, it's supposed to be a complicated case. Here, it looks like Wendy is just, yeah, it's in a bad way. But just hear me out, right? Because this opens a conversation that even if Wendy was severely mentally impaired, Wendy is a millionaire, which is to say she's not on Medicaid. Now, there's nothing wrong with being on Medicaid, but you can make the argument on Medicaid, well, you can't afford other guardians. You got to stick with this one. Wendy is a millionaire. She is paying out of her bank account for the guardian and all the guardian's legal fees. If Wendy, let's just say Wendy was out of her mind. She thought she was Princess Leia from Star Trek 18. I don't know. If Wendy looks at this woman and says, I don't want you to be my guardian, I don't like you. Why? Because you look like Tom and Jerry. You look like Smurfette. You look like Gargamel. Actually, Sabrina does look like Gargamel. And she's like, I don't want you working with me. Then why don't you just put a new guardian on the case? Why are you acting like there's not a million guardians around and a million people that do this? Why are you acting like Sabrina Mosey is the only choice? It makes no sense. And it also makes you look at people that, let's just say Wendy was in severe, severe decline. The fact that Wendy feels like she's being held hostage, well then whatever treatment you guys are doing, it's not worth it. It's not working. Now, they can make the argument, well, this is how it is with people that have guardians. They never like the guardians. They never do this. If you cannot find anyone you're helping that is happy with your help, then maybe we should consider the help you're giving and the scope we're allowing people to do. This country has a long way to go with the way people with mental health are treated. And the way once you get into this mental health system, it's worse than the prison system because you cannot advocate for yourself. But again, Wendy has a big family. How is this woman who Wendy can't stand in charge of her whole life? Why does Sabrina Mosey need to be the person? Again, I think we know why, because it's a scam, but let's continue. The attorney notes that Sabrina Morrissey did not create the guardianship. The judge did. Okay, the judge is in on it too. And the lawyer goes on to say that the judge declared Wendy legally incapacitated last August after she was diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia the year before. But how far along was that dementia? Again, this is a scam. The lawyer says Wendy has not been kept from her family and saying she can call them and see them whenever she wants. Wendy says she's not been allowed visitors with just a few exceptions since entering the facility in New York. The Guardian said that Wendy traveled twice to Florida to visit family. We're told Wendy claims the judge actually turned down the last visit for her dad's birthday and reversed the decision after TMZ's documentary Saving Wendy dropped on Tubi. Let's also not forget the judge publicly threatened Wendy in emails saying that if she doesn't like her attitude and if she keeps it up, she's not getting that jury trial. A jury trial is a constitutional right. Excuse me, Miss Ma'am? The lawyer also says that Wendy is receiving excellent medical care, where there was a spa, a workout room, excellent food, a dining room, and outside terraces. Wendy says she's often denied access to many of these perks because she can only leave the fifth floor memory unit with permission. Listen, again, the judge, this whole thing is getting really weird and really bizarre. It keeps getting more and more insidious. Listen, everybody needs to be removed. They need to get the therapy, the authorities involved. I will say, I'll try to put it at the end of this video. I did a live 2 years ago over what Wells Fargo was doing to Wendy, what the bank records were, and it was really, really insidious back then. But the fact that it's now boiling over now, 2 years later, with Wendy's bank accounts drained, this all happened. Maybe we're praying for Wendy. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.